In today's edition of Purbeck Junction, we take a look at the new layout, and my number one finally comes out of the box. So join me as we take this little trip down to Purbeck Junction. Hello and welcome back to Purbeck Junction. As you can see, the line behind me, it's got in a bit of a new state. It's now a bit of a garden railway. We're only operating 2 running lines. You can see the sun starting to shine up the garden, and yeah, progress has come along a bit since you last saw me. Obviously it would have been the Christmas running day, sorry, the Queen Mary just decided to come off there, and yeah, things have changed a bit. So we're currently testing the layout in the garden. You can see the bridge section there. These boards, temporary until find a new more permanent solution. They're just MDF, but as we all know, MDF doesn't really work well in a garden railway setting. Now, it has been quite fun setting this up. Obviously I wanted to wait a couple of weeks until I had the kinks ironed out on this temporary layout to show it off to the world. Something else changed. The old N-gauge layout is back from many moons ago, so we'll catch up with that later. And yeah, I just thought we'd do a bit of a running session and I'll go through with you what's changed here on the railway. So, starting off here, we have the main, what will be station board. This will be the only board on the layout that is removable. This just so it can make access to the garden a little bit easier. You can see my Lima 33 pulling a Rakers LMS coaching stock. And might as well follow it round. So as you can see, it's heading out onto the bridge section, which is being achieved by using some old Triang track risers just there. Moving on to the more modern risers, we have a bit of wood. You can see my number 1 coming across now. And an old kit, which was a lifting bridge, but I can never get the lifting mechanism to work, so it's now a permanent bridge. We move around, following the bridge. There will be some sides on it eventually, some better supports. Come around, we're starting to see some ballast. And then we come to the top section. Someone's going to pass you again. Coming around, you can see where we're still testing, making it all hunky-dory, and coming back round. I know it looks a bit wonky now, but it will come back, it will come into its own. And here, our current power solution is, and let's get some more fish plates that have the wires soldered on. And we've got a Hornby power track, and then we come back down to the front. And controlling the layout, we have a Hornby HM2000 controller. I've had this for about 2 years now, and it's done me quite well so far, but yeah. Having a garden railway really does lend itself to some beautiful shots, and we'll have a closer look. Just give you a few more shots of the running, and then we're going to focus on the little tank engine that's running around the layout now. You know what they say, everyone remembers their first, and that is exactly what Lionworks Colliery's number 1 is for me. She is the first engine I ever owned. I've had her since about 2010, maybe 2011. And she came in the industrial train set by Hornby. A picture will appear on the screen now. And coming round is the latest addition to the fleet to replace one of my other Lima 52s that broke down. I remember the name when she comes back round. I believe it's Western Gladiator. She's hauling a nice mixed rake of Great Western coaches and a siphon. Well, I've had her for about 2 weeks. No, 1 week. I've had the 52, whereas Limework Collieries is the oldest engine in my collection. And don't they look nice side by side there? Yeah, Western Gladiator D1016. It would have been nice if I had Western Champion, because I've been on that one, but it is nice having a Western in my collection. Obviously, they are my favourite class of diesel locomotive, so yeah, it only seems right to have one. And with the Lima ones being inexpensive, I think it cost me about £40. But the Lima engines do hold their worth. The only problem that you can sometimes have is what happens with the 33 here is the power bogie, well, the non-powered bogie. The clip comes out and it just slots back in there, which is easy enough fix. It's literally just a snap fit, and that just keeps the power going into the bogies. But I think you've had enough waffling of me. Let's run some trains. We'll wrap up on today's episode. Only a short but sweet one. It's just nice to get some trains running. So we'll send the 52 off one way, and hopefully Limeworks will go the other way.
One day, James had to wait at the station till Edward and his train came in. This made him cross. Late again. Edward laughed, and James fumed away.
Now, one thing you may have noticed in obviously that clip there, and with the last video, we do have some Sudrian engines down here at Purbeck Junction. Obviously Edward and James are running around at the moment. I also have a hand-painted Percy as well as a Hornby one, a Bachmann Thomas Duck, a Bachmann Thomas, not Bachmann Hornby, and we have a Bachmann Gordon, but unfortunately that is out for servicing, as the wire that hardwires the base keeper plate to the motor, it didn't have enough give, and while trying to service the wheel set I accidentally snapped it, so that needs soldering back on. But once that's done, we'll have Gordon back up and running. And one thing I have noticed about these Bachmann Thomas engines is when two of them are running together, you may have noticed as James is making a lot of noise as he's running. I believe that's just because of the draw that they're taking from the controller, but I'm not sure if that's the case. If other people own these engines, then maybe they could tell me, but I don't seem to have that issue when I'm running to any of my other engines together. It's just when I'm running two Bachmann Thomas and Friends locomotives. But if you have the answers, obviously on a postcard please, and leave them in the comments. We're going to go back to some normal running and then we'll wrap it up.